We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 252. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. And to my right is the current reigning, defending Scholars of Wrestling World Champion, Scholar Tarek. What's up, Sight?
Sight?
I was about to go, what's up, sir, and what's up tonight, sir, and it just got,
what's up, Sight?
What's up, Sight? What is up, Sight?
Upside is this week of professional wrestling. New titles introduced, new comedic backstage shenanigans is now underway, and we're not going to have Money in the Bank holders for very long. One's already gone, and one's probably on the verge of disappearing. So, yeah, no, I think this is going to be the first time in a while that we have Money in the Bank holders that don't really last very long.
But then it also keeps things moving, so it's a bit. There's a bit of advantage to it.
But is it moving in the direction we want to go?
Not if you're me, because when you're me, you lose the Scholars in the Bank briefcase to the new Mr. Scholar in the Bank, Scholar Brian. How's your night going?
Once again, okay, following your heart screws you over in the end. It
screws me over for one night.
It's fine. Keep doing what you do. We'll reap the benefits as the time goes. And as to your point, okay, yes, new elements, but still same old shit.
Now when it comes to holder of the briefcase/beefcase, the only one to really focus on is this one. The new Mr. Scholar in the Bank.
And
again,
yes,
congratulations.
Thank you. And yes, there was an opportunity for me to cash in right away and do as the Money in the Bank title holders do. However, I want you to think about it a little bit. Also, it's very nice to just hold this all fair, have it be in my possession for a little while, because this one held it for 200 days last year.
Over 200
days. 200 days. And he did me, I will admit, he did do me a solid last year.
Which is approximately 195 days too long, if you ask me.
So, I did you the solid.
Ouch, man. Ouch.
I did you the solid of not being Bailey, of not being...
Are you just holding that against me, the fact that I cashed in on you, fool? Are you just gonna hold on to that grudge?
No, it's more like I just see you with the briefcase in your possession. I'm just like, when are you gonna cash it in? When are you gonna do something with it? Do something! Do something!
Until the day comes when you win it. Like the night, let's say like it's you and me for the Scholars of Wrestling Championship. You won. He has the better score of both of us. And he's like, hope you cherish it for this one day, Jeff, because I'm cashing in on you. It's like, no! Why? Why are you guys always cashing in on me?
But then again, if I win it from you and then he cashes it in, does that count as like a 10-second title reign for me?
It does count as a title reign for you.
It does.
Yeah, I'll take it. Or nothing.
But as said, you did me a solid. I do you a solid. We're even now. Watch your back.
Back will be watched. I've been in those shoes. I know what you're capable of. And I know what that awesome styrofoam beefcase is all about. So it's going to be a very interesting year. Just don't wait till next year's Money in the Bank, and then all of a sudden you lose your opportunity to cash in.
Oh, trust me. I know that you people rarely defend your titles. So
what do you mean, you people?
Exactly. I do not stutter. Okay, that's it.
Oh, speaking of which,
pregnant pause.
And I was trying to segue to what I was hinting at with you. What you two did not know is I had a little plan going on in the back of my mind. While you two are fighting for the briefcase, I decided, you know what? I'm going to give whoever loses the opportunity for this. So whoever loses still wins in the end. So I'm putting my Scholars of Wrestling Championship on the line against you, fool, at Super Showdown.
Good luck to you all.
You mean I actually have to pay attention to Super Showdown now?
Unfortunately, yes.
Good luck to you both.
This is like a next level. This is a whole new level of sinister, fool.
Fool, I've told you. Every time I win this beautiful belt, I try and make my title reigns as entertaining as possible.
Okay.
So, with that, and I'm not. Yes, I decided not to defend the championship at Money in the Bank, the one pay-per-view. But now I am at the next pay-per-view, and you are my next challenger.
You know what? I'll take that.
See,
I hope.
even if you lose, you're still a winner in my book.
And it's okay. It is. Because if you win, I'll be waiting in the wings to take it from you immediately.
This night already, we haven't even gotten to the Money in the Bank results yet, and this night has already taken a very odd turn. But you know what?
Hey.
I like it.
Well, yeah, you got a title opportunity.
Yeah.
So
for losing, I'll take it.
Because I want to make you
Makes
feel like
as much
you're just
logical
as important.
sense as anything that the WWE is putting on nowadays.
Hey, if
I
you
can't
didn't,
argue with that.
Hell,
Yeah.
if he won the beef case, you would have gotten the title opportunity.
Yep.
So
I'm just saying, definite WWE type move here. The loser gets the title shot. It's all gravy though.
It's like Mario Party. Losing is winning.
It's all gravy though, because either way, I'm gonna come out on top in the end.
as long as you have that beef case, you are just that snake waiting to strike.
I'll tell you what.
Entertaining.
There's no shortage of those moments this past week. So let's dive right into it. Let's talk about Money in the Bank 2019. Kicking things off on the pre-show with the Usos defeating Daniel Bryan and Rowan, which, I'll be very frank with you, I should have seen coming since apparently it was non-title.
We should have looked this up when we were doing the prediction show last week.
As soon as they stated definitively that it was non-title, you knew the Usos were winning. But you know what? It's the Usos, it's Daniel Bryan, and surprisingly, Rowan can put on a damn show.
You definitely are seeing Rowan's getting better in the ring. And
so, for the amount of time it got, which was not much, because yes, pre-show, but it was perfectly fine. I sat down and watched it after the party that we were having, and it was perfectly fun to sit through, perfectly entertaining. Good job. Got me ready for what was coming next. And that's what the pre-show is supposed to do and has been seriously lacking for a little while now.
The one thing about this that I liked, well, let me start off with what I didn't like. Of course, typical 50-50 booking. And even I said it last week, title defense or no title defense, I thought Daniel Bryan and Rowan were gonna win. But of course, it's just typical WWE 50-50 booking. But the one positive aspect that I got out of it was an exclusive backstage interview that Daniel Bryan had, and just saying how he feels like a failure and that he's going to revolutionize the tag team division. He said, no more stupid gimmick, Christmas gimmick tag team, no Thanksgiving gimmick tag team. We are going to revolutionize tag team wrestling and give it the respect it deserves. And probably they'll save that for after Super Showdown, because obviously Daniel Bryan's refusing to go to that event, and I don't blame him. So we're probably going to see something with that extent after the show.
And I enjoy the words, but until the creative team actually shows me something like that, they're just pretty words to me.
Because to be fair, we had the Revival versus the Usos on Raw. That was actually a really good match.
Surprisingly so, yeah.
But the only difference is, okay, we all know that when tag team wrestling is good, it's the best thing. It's one of the best things on either show. Okay. Once again, the problem is the creative team. Okay, so yeah, we got a really good match between the Revival and the Usos last week. That means you know that the Usos are getting a 5-minute squash next week. So, until I see progress on the idea of the revolution of the tag team division, Daniel Bryan cuts really good promos and he has really good ideas, the character. But do they ever really stack up in the end?
His WWE title story, yeah.
Yeah, and then they just threw all that out at the end of it. That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't say threw it all out. It's just, if he didn't get injured, we probably still would have gotten a very good WWE title feud building for Money in the Bank. But of course, he got injured by means. We to this day still don't know what.
Pretty sure they were hiding it. They were hiding another concussion. So
it's possible.
I hope not.
So yeah. Moral of the story. Okay. Pretty words until shown otherwise.
What I want to see him do is actually unify the tag team titles. Because, in all fairness, the tag team division on both shows, we said this plenty of times, the tag team division on both shows is very slim. So, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder don't even wear the belt Raw tag team titles anymore. They didn't when they were shown this past week. But they were too busy with something else. We'll get to that later.
Oh, boy.
But all in all, I just feel like now, especially since the women's division has won tag team titles, why not have the tag team titles for the men be just one belt series of belts?
Personally, I'm all in favor of a lot more unifications, including specifically the men's tag titles and the Universal and WWE titles. I would love to just have one belt so everything is more prestigious. And then
I'm not gonna go that far.
That's my preference. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go as far as the Universal and the WWE titles because they're both of a high enough prestige that if you unified one of them, you wouldn't have Kofi Kingston as a champion. That's just done. You can shake your head like that all you want. It wouldn't happen. Seth Rollins would be the only champion of the two here.
I do agree with they're slowly dissolving the brand split, which in fairness I'm not for. I prefer the brand split.
That's the problem with the Fox deal.
And that's the problem with Fox and USA wanting to end it, and this is their compromise. But if they're going to keep this wild card rule going, which another rule I'm not a fan of, and from what reports saying, most of the wrestlers are not a fan of. Ooh, excuse me. If they're gonna keep the brands, but slowly say the wild card rule. If they're gonna add one new title, at least have the tag team titles disappear and keep the major belts that the women's the Raw women's belt and the SmackDown women's belt. If anything, hell, just change the name of the titles. But that's just trying to figure something out.
You unify the tag team titles because there's not enough teams.
If you're talking about
to
title
make a
unification,
competitive division
just
on the show.
I understand.
So for me, there's more opportunities for advancement for singles competitors if you don't unify the titles. Kofi would not be in the position he is right now if they unified the WWE and Universal title. So I am okay
with that.
With them not doing it. I'm okay with what happened with them, with Becky Two Belts not being Becky Two Belts anymore. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm fine with those titles going back to separate brands. the United States title can fuck off, but the I like the idea of separate brands having separate titles because of the fact that there's more opportunity for advancement for the guys who would not have that opportunity if the titles were unified.
Again, I'm totally on board with what you're saying. Just in my personal opinion, there's just way too many titles right now, and just splitting them up decreases their prestige. Yes, I totally get what you're saying about obviously each individual player on each brand will have less opportunities to shine and advance and all that. This is more of a very, very general opinion thing on my part, where I just prefer only a small handful of titles to make them mean more, to add more drama and stakes to whatever match they're attached to.
And I feel personally that just the tag team titles really are in the position that if you unify them, it actually would do for the better, because they barely do anything with the Raw tag titles. And Daniel Bryan, he wants to try and rejuvenate the tag team division. Just go for the Raw belts. Merge the tag belts, and hell, even have new designs, not returning of the penny belts or anything like that. Like the brand new, maybe hell, even hemp tag team titles I'm okay with.
No, brother.
But that's just I miss the hemp belt, so I had to bring that up. But if there was anything, I do agree there are, with the new belt introduced, yeah, I do believe now there's just one too many titles, and I think just merging the tag titles is the only real option for it to go.
Yeah, and that's at the very least, that one is the more obvious of the titles to be merged. But elsewhere in the show, let's see what else is happening with the belts. Specifically, Bayley winning the women's Money in the Bank, which, I'll be honest, I was very, very surprised by. But given the way things went later on in the night, I'm actually very happy with this decision. Yeah, I'm very happy with
Are you psyched about that?
What's that?
Are you psyched about that?
I am psyched about that.
I'm not going to go as far as to say that I was surprised.
But were you psyched about that?
Yes.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Good times.
Because, you know what? It works with the story that has been told over the last 3 weeks. I thought that this was going to go the way of Vince being like, hey, I want this one. Put it on her. So that's why
to be fair, he kind of did get that way.
Yeah. So that's why my immediate thought was the glamorous blonde, because that's Vince's MO. So but okay. In this particular case, they actually followed through with a storyline that's been building since Bayley went over to SmackDown. So, and also, okay, sitting down to watch this match, very low expectations, not expecting a lot. But
a lot has happened. A lot did happen in that match.
But holy shit, everybody came to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was it was better than last year. It was certainly better than the Carmella
fiasco, yes.
Win. And
I ain't saying much though.
And Ember Moon,
she was the highlight.
That eclipse off of the ladder into the ring.
That was awesome.
Holy crap! So
I hope something happens with her later this year.
I would put money on if I were a betting man.
Going into this match,
after that one, hell yeah.
Going into this match with such low expectations, okay, I actually makes me rate this match a little bit higher than I probably should, but it was very enjoyable to sit through, and the right person won, and what happened later in the night just confirms that.
Saw that coming a mile away because I predicted both both situations. Although the only false thing that I didn't predict was a heel turn. That was the only thing I didn't predict. But yeah, I not surprised at all because my person won. The only real criticism that I had with the match was obviously the Carmella storyline that is building with her and Mandy Rose. Like,
and also my problem with that is when she came back in after the knee injury, she didn't do anything.
Yeah, other than just slamming Mandy's head on the ladder a couple times.
So what was the point of you coming back out? You can build that storyline better.
What was the point of you getting injured?
What I understand the fact that they're trying to set up a storyline between Carmella and Mandy Rose. Do I like the fact that they're setting up a storyline for Carmella? Not really. But in the context of the storyline itself, a way to further it is for Mandy Rose to injure her and take her out of the Money in the Bank match while it's happening. So the best way to have gone about that is to have her injured and to be taken out and not come back. Therefore, you get the minuscule amount of heel heat that Mandy Rose will acquire for taking out fan favorite Carmella. Okay, and you can build that storyline from there. So, in the context of the storyline, injuring her makes sense. What doesn't make sense is her coming back out, doing whatever, doing the ladder shots to Mandy Rose, and then doing nothing.
Well, and also trying to fight off Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And then Sonya's just like, here, Mandy, I'll help you up the ladder. Dun, 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 dun. You're on my shoulders, you're on my shoulders. Here, grab it. Bailey just goes up. Nope.
This ain't Mike. Bailey's like, this shit ain't happening again. That's it. No, that's it.
She does just like, are you serious? Nah.
Are you serious, ho?
Are you serious? Poke.
And of course,
Bailey wins.
And of course, the after promo where everyone shat on Sasha Banks in the crowd. That's it.
I don't even want to bring that up.
No, neither do I.
So very good.
Still fresh.
Very good promo, but probably shouldn't have mentioned her name if you wanted to keep the fanfare that you had going.
Yeah, let's not talk about turds.
Yeah,
let's just move on.
Well, speaking of turds, we got Rey Mysterio defeating Samoa Joe.
In the very first instance,
he did beat Samoa Joe. It's defeating
of all.
Quotes, heavy quotes.
In the first. In the first way of officials being complete bumbling fools.
In this show, yeah.
In this show. For the fact that Samoa, the ref is right here.
Looking right at it.
By his shoulder. The shoulder is clearly
as clear as
off
day.
The mat. And he counts to 3 anyway. So yeah, when Samoa Joe is busted open and beating the ever-loving shit out of Rey Mysterio afterwards, I can understand the frustration.
And that's the reason why they... Apparently, it was because he busted up his nose. It's like... I heard it's like...
It was still...
It's like, just end the match. His nose is too bloodied. And it's... Didn't a similar situation happen at one of the NXT shows? Wasn't it like him and Finn Balor...
Yes.
And Joe got busted, and they just had to keep stopping the match.
Yes.
To seal him back up.
It completely killed the momentum of the match.
It's this very similar situation here, and lame.
The which would be all well and good if you could come up with a better way to have the pin other than the first instance of referee buffoonery. In the show, because holy shit,
it just didn't make it look good at all. None of it.
Yeah, and once again, the United States title is treated like a hot potato. Why the fuck should I care about the United States title in any way, shape, or form whatsoever? And
hell, the European title had more respect than this.
And Dominic, why are you here? That's it.
Because we're obviously going to get a Samoa Joe versus Dominic match.
Oh, good lord.
Custody of Dominic on a pole match. He's like, dude, I'm 21.
I'm 21. You're hanging on a pole, damn it. Can you guys let me down now?
No.
Please?
Can you guys
Dominic
let me
in
down?
a cage match.
We'll get you down, and whoever does is your new puppy.
Can you guys not do this? We've already done this. Stop it.
We've already done this. Where the fuck is Vicky?
Oh, brother.
Gotta have that one.
Speaking of poppies, Shane McMahon defeated The Miz.
I'm very upset that I'm just never gonna predict The Miz ever again, because every time I predict The Miz, it fails for me. And I really should have saw this. I'm like, oh yeah, I said it before in a past episode. They're building up Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns. Obviously, Shane McMahon's going to win this, even if it is with stupid shenanigans like that and more referee buffoonery.
See, I'm not so mad about
The rope break.
No, that's what I am mad about. But I'm not so mad about the way he won. Because
that was great.
Because
He's best in the world.
It's something we have never seen before. It's like The Miz wants to suplex him back into the ring. Okay, he loses the grip. All he has is a hold of his shirt, and the best in the world. Okay, obviously
Clever strategist.
very clever strategist. Lifts his arms up, drops.
I loved it.
Leaving The Miz literally holding the shirt.
Making The Miz look like a complete and utter fool.
And the only problem with this match is it's a cage match. No disqualification. Which means no rope breaks. So, a foot on the rope should not mean the referee stops counting. He doesn't even point that the foot's on the rope. He just stops. That's it.
Silly.
The next day, I did hear on Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray gave us a plausible explanation for that in canon, so to speak. I don't remember it, but
It's happened before.
it has happened before. So there was.
I will allow that Bully Ray thinks it's a plausible excuse. However,
It still seems
the
like
way that the rule has always been stated in a no DQ match, which a cage is, there are no rope breaks. So foot on the rope means jack shit in a no DQ match. So
we're all trying here.
logic fail. However, ending of the match made me laugh my ass off.
Made me very sad.
Therefore,
Never
Kudos.
never predict on The Miz ever again.
Lesson learned. But meanwhile, on the
Hell, he
bright
made
side,
me lose the title the first time. Like
never
my first
predict
title reign.
never predict a babyface Miz win.
Never just predict
will
a
not-
Miz win ever. Because
No, because when he's healed, he
I came
wins.
to lose.
he was a heel when he faced oh shit, I wasn't the. That was just at a WrestleMania. This is him and Maurice versus John Cena and Nikki Bella.
Well, that was just you having a dumb moment. That's what that was.
That was me trying to actually. It's like they won the match, but of course
like,
with John
there's-
Cena and Nikki Bella, they get the moment. But nope, they gotta get both.
No.
No, when I lost
John
this, it was
Cena
with
and
something else.
John Cena and Nikki Bella, not a chance in hell.
Elsewhere, we also had Tony Nese defeat Arya Daivari to retain his 205 Live Championship
It was this match was actually
on the
kinda-
main roster, on the main card.
Sure, because Buddy Murphy didn't put on great cruiserweight title matches.
Compared to Buddy
Womp womp.
Murphy,
This match was-
it was good. It was
kind of boring. It was a very.
it was
They tried.
It was boring, and
They
there
did
were
try.
very obvious. There were very obvious, like, clumsy miscues
Miscommunications, yeah.
and all that. So yeah, it brings it down a little bit, but it wasn't so bad that You're just sitting there like.
It was just, oh yeah, that was there.
It was there. It was something to watch.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Not for the first main show appearance. Kind of meh.
Where is Buddy Murphy?
A good question.
On SmackDown.
Somewhere.
Once you have a cruiserweight, move to the main show. About that.
We get one video package, and that's all we get.
Speaking of one package, we've got Becky Lynch unfortunately defeating Lacey Evans.
Wrong. Not unfortunately. Very fortunate because
Rip.
Not even going by this. Okay? Lacey Evans is not Paige. As much as you would like her to be treated like Paige, she's not worthy
of Xavier Woods, I know.
She's not worthy of her first pay-per-view match winning a title. No. No. Stop.
No. I think the one factor this match is that not only did Becky Lynch win, she won as clear as day. Like, this match was only...
Oh, and there was another...
this match was only like, what, 5 minutes?
I think it was longer than that.
It was
like
very fast.
It was 8 to 10 minutes. It went by fast. And the last instance of referee buffoonery that I will call out, okay, that pin that Lacey did to Becky right before Becky locked her in the disarmor for the tap out. Okay.
She had her down for a count.
The ref is just running around in circles. He was very... I guess he was in the wrong area. I guess he wasn't where he was supposed to be to count the pin. Because I'm sure that it was supposed to be a 2 count and then Becky rolls through and gets her in the disarmor or whatever. But what actually happened is that Becky's being pinned for about a 4 or 5 count. The referee's running in a circle trying to get to where the shoulders are down. And Becky says, screw it, and rolls through with the disarmor before there's even a count. So, did Lacey Evans have a good showing? For the amount of time she was given, it was okay.
Money guns,
it
bro.
Was good.
Money guns.
It was okay. It was good, but
it was one-sided.
But
at least how it felt to me.
But no. I'm sorry. Not enough to convince me that she should be champion yet.
Money guns, though.
Don't care.
If nothing else, I just want to see a gimmick where at every major pay-per-view, I want Lacey Evans' hats to get progressively bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where when next WrestleMania comes around, I want her to come out in an extravagant entrance with like 6 servants and they all just have to hold up her hat.
No, you don't want that to happen because when someone gets an extravagant entrance, they lose. Which was the reason as soon as Money Guns came out and happened, I was like, okay, she's losing.
It was still hype, though. I don't care what anyone of you say.
It's just the only real disappointing factor in it is because, I'm warming up to Lacey Evans, and Becky pretty much, in my opinion, swept the floor with her in this match. Like, when Charlotte came out for her match, it's like, oh, Charlotte is a clever strategist because she's going in after Becky had a match with Lacey Evans. And I'm thinking,
well,
Lacey didn't really do anything to Becky to really...
She blocked her once.
Yeah, to really like put any damage on Becky. So in a way, you're kind of facing a fresh Becky.
I was like that. I had a problem with the finish of the match being the women's right to Becky. I think that she should have gotten her heat back before the match, and did the beatdown that they did afterwards to her. Lacey do that before the match, and that's the reason why Charlotte takes the opportunity to come down immediately and take care of business, whatever. So that didn't really ring true to me, that they were trying to play it off like it was some big thing that Charlotte was coming down because she took a chop block. That was the only thing. So she had a little bit of a gimpy knee. Whatever. So, and the women's right was all well and good at the end of the match. I don't like. Charlotte is good enough that those kind cheap tactics to end the match, cheap tactics to be able to take an opportunity to be like Edge and the Ultimate Opportunist. It's better for Lacey Evans to get her heat back before the match. In that case,
Here's an idea to pitch to you guys. I guess you can call this a Scholar's Quick Talk, but the idea of Charlotte and Lacey Evans becoming women's tag team champions. Yay or nay?
yay.
Yay in concept. I'm going to say
Because he wants Lacey Evans as a singles champion, so she can't do that if she's tag team champions.
yeah, pretty much that.
Though to be fair, I do want to see Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross as tag team champions.
That day will come.
I
got
want
to.
that because they're not doing jack with the Iconics. So,
But legit, Lacey Evans and Charlotte is a team up that you don't think about it on paper. You don't think about it until it actually happens, and then you're like,
well, I thought about it. I brought it up.
no, I'm saying no.
That's not a common thought.
I'm not. Before it happened 2 weeks ago. Before it happened 2 weeks ago, just them teaming up to beat down on Becky Lynch. You don't think about it until it happens. So, and then it comes on the TV, and you're like, huh. This actually works like a lot. So they're busy in their singles stuff right now, but further down the line, do I see them being a tag team and going for the tag team titles? Yes, I do.
But now I think we're gonna get Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. They're gonna be like the William Regal / Tajiri of the women's division. The crazy badass and just the sophisticated role model. You know what? I want that to happen now. I really do.
Hey, the WWE is full of possibilities, and hopefully they're going that way. But thankfully, of course, as we saw, Charlotte Flair eventually defeated Becky Lynch, only to be cut off at the pass by Bayley rushing in with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Sorry. All this talk of beefcases.
This is the only beefcase.
This is the only beefcase. So therefore, Bayley took her briefcase.
Took her a good minute to figure it out. To like, should I? Shouldn't I?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Should I or shouldn't I? It's like which one?
Yeah, should I? Shouldn't I? And which one should I do it on? Oh, Becky's rolling out. Okay, Charlotte. So it's all just done. It's all done just so Charlotte can have another title reign to try and catch up with Daddy.
Of course, and
let her have it.
It's also
hail the Queen, baby.
They do. Becky goes rage mode at the end of the match, starts beating up on Lacey, obviously, as you would in that instance because of what Lacey did. Charlotte goes out, and you get another team up of them, making me want the tag team version of the Glamorous Blondes once even more. However, it got to the point where the beatdown was going on for so long that you knew, like, there was no suspense. There wasn't at all. You knew Bayley was coming out.
And Charlotte getting completely taken out by the middle turnbuckle. It's like, it wasn't exposed. This isn't the first time Charlotte had a face encounter with a turnbuckle. Why is she out this long?
How hard did you throw yourself into that thing,
Maybe
Charlotte? Were you legitimately out?
Maybe if it was an exposed turnbuckle, I kind of would have believed it more. But yeah, it's like, Charlotte, oh, I hit the turnbuckle. Night, Mommy.
I hit the turnbuckle. I'm dead now. Go ahead.
Wake up.
Bayley, are you going to do it at your elbow yet? Are you there?
It's been 2.5 minutes.
It's been a while.
Hey.
What's going on?
There's only so long I can sell this turnbuckle move.
Up there it is.
Up there it is.
Ay.
So, good in concept. A little bit lacking in the execution, at least timeline-wise. But that's it.
Yeah, either way, Bayley beats Charlotte Flair, and we have a new SmackDown Women's Champion, which I'm honestly okay with.
And now it's just
And Bayley
Becky Red Belt.
And Bayley is the first Women's Grand Slam champion.
Which is also a fun thing, as far as I'm concerned. But
Now maybe we can actually get good storylines for Bayley.
Looks like we're getting her versus Charlotte for like maybe a month.
And you know what? I'm okay with that. But elsewhere, we've got Roman Reigns defeating Elias, which I think we all called.
Do we even call it?
It was just a match. Honestly,
I wouldn't even call it a match.
It was just a segment. It's just Roman Reigns walking in the back somewhere. You see Elias, and you're just hearing that like cartoon sneak music. Dun, 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 dun. Hit you with the guitar, bitch.
Goes out and plays a concert. We all
With
know
an electric guitar, and his response was like, "This is a different guitar because I broke my other one."
I do like the delivery on that line though.
I did too.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
When Elias talks, he's great. When he's doing segments and everything, he's great. When he gets into the ring,
I don't. Yeah. That's
so, but there was no other way for this to go after that. He did the concert? He goes up the ramp.
Roman comes
He
out.
turns
He's
his
holding
back.
the Super Mario star. It's dun 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 dun.
Once he turned his back,
Superman punch. Dun 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 dun. Roll down into the ring. Dun 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 and a spear. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that.
It was that.
yeah.
It was super.
So-
It was Roman Reigns with the Super Mario star. The whole time. There's nothing really. It's like quick and simple. Roman Reigns is still Vince McMahon's.
You're losing all the brownie points you have. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Very, very, very quickly.
It's like it's slowly going back to before it. Like it's going back to pre-leukemia Roman, and
Yeah, not
we
a good look.
really don't want that.
No
No.
one does. No.
No.
But elsewhere, speaking of things we do want, we got Seth Rollins defeating AJ Styles, and
Match of the year candidate. I'll say it
I agree.
right now.
I was a little hesitant to say match of the night, but
It was definitely match of the night.
Easily match of the night. It's
I want
we.
more. It's obvious
I
right now
think
we're not
the
gonna
reason. I think that's the reason they went all out. We're not gonna get more. So
At least not right now.
They were like, this is the one time. Okay, this isn't gonna be like AJ and Shinsuke. Show everything you got in this match. They did. They went out, and it might be my favorite match of the year so far.
I actually think it is my favorite match of the year, or at least like one-on-one match of the year so far.
And hey, we got a clean winner.
I feel like I'm going to have to go back and rewatch this match later on in the year to really see how it compares with the other ones. I still feel like it's a little bit too early to call for this one, but I can see it absolutely being a contender right now.
I love the idea of the champions actually getting clean pins.
And in the end, both guys looked really strong in this.
Exactly. Like nobody got hurt at all.
It was just like a whole like you went for a move. I saw it coming. I was the better man. And the end is just I'm glad it's not like a Shinsuke repeat with AJ like shaking the hands, low blow. He shook the hands, respect. You beat me now. I will be back. And as he said on his promo on Raw, it's like he was the better man. This isn't the end. I will be back, but as of right now, I have to go back of the line. And now he's possibly getting into a feud with Baron Corbin.
That whole thing with the feud beforehand. The problem with it is why did it stray from May the Best Man Win. Where I'm AJ Styles, you're Seth Rollins. Let's go mano a mano.
I felt like that was what the Go Home show was about.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but you had the few weeks before that where it was something completely not that. And
It's like I'm here. I'm ready to take that belt. You will know, like, I am ready to be the man of this brand.
Yeah,
and
it's the two best wrestlers on the brand. Don't add any frills to the storyline if you're not gonna have.
I even like there was just the small hint of frill, like, oh, it's not like, oh, can they coexist? Oh, did AJ do it on purpose? It's like, no, I didn't do it on purpose. He just happened to be there. Do I regret it? No. It's like, he was just in the wrong place. I'm not apologizing for it, but hey, it won't be a mistake when I do it at the pay-per-view. And I respected that. It's not like they didn't go full on, like, there was no bad guy, there was no good guy. It was just, I think I'm better than you. Oh yeah? Well, I think you're wrong because I'm better than you. May the best man win.
Yeah. That's why I was so annoyed at first with the accidental forearm storyline, because I'm like, you always do this shit. You have a storyline right here.
But they did something unique with it.
Yes, indeed. But I thought they were going to do the normal route the time it happened. Right when it happened, it's like, oh, this shit again. And yeah, they came back. The difference this time is that, as you said, they didn't go the route that they normally go, where you get the forced heel turn and all that. And instead, it turned back into what I wanted for it in the first place. Just mano a mano. I think I'm better than you. I know you're not.
And now that it's over, and that they're not continuing with the story right now, and that it will happen again, it makes you look forward to when they fight each other again.
And the only problem is the monster in between.
Or in this case,
the beast in between.
Then again, we're going to get right into that in a minute. But first, before we got there, we also got Kofi Kingston defeating Kevin Owens.
Oh no! Before that, we had the Lucha House Party get destroyed by Lars Sullivan.
Oh, that's not even up.
Lars needs to eat.
Lars hungry. Lars want eat.
Am I the only one who doesn't give a rip about Lars Sullivan anymore?
And when Lars Sullivan comes on the screen, I want my blanket. I want my sippy.
My response was, my initial take on this whole thing was, you're having Lars Sullivan fight three Mexican wrestlers, or beat down three Mexican wrestlers
right after all
that Reddit controversy. Are you sure this is the right call?
Are you trying to sabotage his career more than he already has?
I don't care about Lars Sullivan at this point. He just bores me. I'm bored. You're boring me.
I don't know if they're trying to get him extra heat by just being like, oh, I put all this shit up on Reddit and now I'm beating up Mexicans and black people.
It's like, I paid my fine, what is it, $100,000 that he had to pay?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Jesus.
But yeah.
Lars happened.
There was no reason for
I like his theme song though.
And
he did headbutt a Mexican so hard he busted his head open. So that at least was a cool image.
Now if you want a great entrance music, you got Cesaro.
Yeah,
that was an entrance music. That music was epic.
I figured you'd be glad about this new apparent titles push singles push for Cesaro.
I hope it actually leads to something, not just, oh, Ricochet lost this week. Don't worry, he'll win it again next week. I hope that doesn't happen.
One can only hope. But again, before we got that, we got Kofi Kingston defeating Kevin Owens.
This was the product of bad placement.
Yeah, good match, bad place on the card.
Good match, but
I can see that.
Good match, but where it was placed between Seth Rollins and AJ and the men's Money in the Bank. Okay, at this point in the show,
People were getting tired.
people were getting tired. They wanted the guys to come out with the ladders, and they really didn't care about this match. And you know what? It was good. It was well put together, but it's not anything you would expect from the feud that they were building up. Like, this was like big time betrayal, that kind of deal. Kevin Owens, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods let Kevin Owens in, and then he did what he did to them.
Wrong gimmick, Brian. He didn't let him in.
But it's
I had to. I'm sorry.
New Day Funhouse.
We only had an end credits of the Firefly Funhouse, so we had to bring it up at least once.
And once again, champion gets a clean pin. I like that. And disappointing, yes, but not anything that was bad. Just not the best they could do in a match that they were given, and very bad placement on the card, especially when you know you don't put two heavyweight championship matches and a Money in the Bank briefcase ladder match back to back and not expect one of them to fail. So,
but thankfully, we did actually have in our main event a fair amount of surprises. For better or for worse, we're getting a great Money in the Bank match. Ali is climbing the ladder. He's about to get the briefcase. The briefcase.
That's strike 3, man.
Strike 2.
You had the sight. You had the and now the beef brief.
That was the beef brief is only my second offense. Brock Lesnar showed up and won.
Brock Lesnar showed up and won in a match that he wasn't even a part of. I hated this.
Here's the deal.
There's no deal.
The match itself, before the tomfoolery at the end, amazing. I loved it.
Poor Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
He got the worst of this
Finn
match.
Balor got murdered dead in this match. That sunset flip.
Oh my god, that was the moment of the match.
That Andrade did. Finn Balor bounced higher than Andrade's head after he hit the ladder. That's how hard he hit that thing. Great image. And Drew McIntyre doing Drew McIntyre things to Ricochet.
That looked like it hurts. So when he threw Ricochet out of the ring through that ladder, God damn, that hurt.
Ali takes out McIntyre, climbs up the ladder, has his hands on the... I hate when they do this. At least be like... You don't get to the top of the ladder. Hear Brock Lesnar's theme song.
Bork Laser shows up.
And stand there like a moron with your hands on the briefcase. All you gotta do is pull it down. Pull it down and run. Pull it down and run. But no. WWE books them like morons. They're holding on to the briefcase, staring at Brock Lesnar running down to the ring and shoving ladders in the cameraman. That's it.
He's a big meat wall is what he is.
I'm like, it's a logic fail. I'm like, if you're halfway up the ladder, I can understand it. Because it's like you're caught. I'm like, you're caught. You're on a ladder, and Brock Lesnar's coming to eat you. Okay? If you're on top of the ladder, touching the briefcase, you pull it down and you run for your life. You don't stay to celebrate the victory. You get the hell out of there.
But then again, to be in all fairness, I have thankfully never been in the position where Brock Lesnar was trying to chase me down and eat me.
No, but it's a logic fail from the WWE creative team. Why are you telling him to go up and touch the briefcase and then just stand there?
I think the part
pork.
I think the part that I hate about this the most is that, once again, this was a last-minute decision. Apparently, the idea was either Ali or Drew McIntyre winning the briefcase. It's just a shame.
And then they realized their ratings are shit. So.
It's just, well, if you start building people up to where people want to see them, you probably would get better ratings. But no, you have to go pull the one card out that puts you in a bad position to begin with and just pull out. It's like, oh yeah, last minute Brock Lesnar at the cost of all these people who put their bodies on the line just to have the one guy just run up, grab it, and say, I'm the winner. Tee-hee. I'm Brock Lesnar. I'm holding it like a boombox.
And you know he's going to cut. The only reason he won it was to cash in on Seth Rollins and have an actual match at Super Showdown.
What honestly is the point of them building this story? It's like, who is he going to predict? It's obvious who he's going to choose to cash in on, because you got Dolph Ziggler returning to attack Kofi Kingston, which I like, even though it's and the promo Dolph Ziggler put on SmackDown was like super emotional to the point where it's like, dude, I want to see him win. But the sad thing is, we know he's not going to win. So it's hard to. It's like, I want to be invested because I love Dolph Ziggler.
But we all know he's cannon fodder.
There's no point to being invested because he's not going to win unless they pull some kind of crazy shit and actually have him win the belt. But I doubt that's going to happen. It would be shocking as hell, and I actually would respect that if they did that. But yeah, it's obvious what they're doing. So now it's just a complete waste of the Money in the Bank, because like I said, it's 3 weeks later, so now there's no suspense of that Money in the Bank contract throughout the year, and
for either the women
or the men. So they
blew their load on the money on the contracts.
Honestly, Brock Lesnar it just like he didn't need to be in this. He just needed to show up and beat the shit out of Seth Rollins. He has the reason, because, Seth Rollins kicked him in the balls at WrestleMania and stomped his head 3 times. I think that's perfect enough reason for Brock Lesnar to show up and want to be like, I want to eat the Beast Slayer. Like, there's no point of adding Kofi Kingston into this. There really wasn't, because you knew where it was going to go. Did they just put this out here? It's like, oh, so now because of the wild card, he can't cash in on either the WWE or the Universal title. That's bullshit. That is a bullshit excuse. I'm sorry. This whole thing was a waste of time at the cost of such great talent who actually could benefit from having the briefcase.
And so the other thing is,
they
put their bodies through so much shit
for nothing,
knowing that in the end, Finn Balor must be pissed.
From what I'm reading, the only person who knew that Lesnar was going to come out and take it was Ali.
I read the same.
Yeah, because he had to be the one with his hands on the briefcase staring at him like a...
Yeah, he was the only person who knew about it. So I get, like, that look on Randy Orton's face said it all. He just had that face like, are you kidding me? You could tell.
We just did all this shit. All of us are going to be in so much pain tomorrow.
Randy did very little in this match because he was like, I'm not taking huge bump for this. I know I'm not winning. I'm not taking big bumps for this. Dude, I'm getting my older years. I'm smarter than this.
So
I'm smarter than this.
So everybody who put their bodies on the line were basically given a big fuck you from the higher ups for Brock Lesnar Brock Lesnar to show up 10 seconds later, pull down the briefcase, and we're here now.
As hilarious as it is to have now memes of Brock Lesnar having the Money in the Bank and just rocking his head like a little jukebox, and all the memes of like different songs to have Brock Lesnar rocking out on, those are funny, but again, it's at the cost of all the guys that actually could have benefited for having the briefcase. Help build their ranks to actually being stars that, so you don't have to keep relying on having Roman Reigns, have Billy making this wild card so you can have Roman Reigns on both your shows. That's my response to that. That whole situation, that's my response to it.
Basically said it all. It actually affects how I feel about the greatness of the actual match itself. That's how...
definitely...
That's a problem because the match itself was amazing. But having something like that happen does affect the enjoyment of the match as a whole, because you know that, you enjoyed about 30 minutes of it, but that last 30 seconds was such bullshit that it does kind of negate
the match. Yeah.
So that being said, what facial hair rating would you give this show overall? Looking back on it, there were obviously so much BS on it. I mean, referee buffoonery and all. Brock Lesnar coming in and basically trolling us all. But it was AJ Styles and Seth Rollins that really got me. And at least the women's Money in the Bank match was actually entertaining. And the storyline that Becky went through with both Lacey Evans and Charlotte was actually quite entertaining. Kofi and Owens were just victims of bad placement, but they still put on a good show. So it was a very straight in the middle show. So I'm going to give it a 3, a classic goatee, right down the middle.
You basically just took the words out of my mouth. The matches that were supposed to be good were good to a point. Okay, Seth Rollins versus AJ, you knew you were getting at least something good, possibly a classic. Got a classic out of it, so that's good. Both Money in the Bank matches delivered except for the last 30 seconds of the men's one. And I don't think... Of the matches that were actual matches, I don't count Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio, and I don't count Reigns versus Elias. Of the matches that were actually matches, there was nothing that actively pissed me off. Other than the small...
Just how it ended.
Other than the small accounts of referee buffoonery and the way that the Money in the Bank match ended. The men's Money in the Bank ended, but it does, the ending of that Money in the Bank match does affect my enjoyment of the show as a whole. So yeah, in normal cases, because of how good the specialty matches were and the title matches that you expect to be good, I would normally give this a full beard. But because of the ending to the men's Money in the Bank match, I got to bring it down to a classic goatee.
I would say I would put a good, solid classic goatee either way, just because there were some problems with it. But the things that we did get that did work were really quite enjoyable, specifically the women's Money in the Bank and how that was handled, and just these fun little moments, including money guns and thigh holsters and beatbox briefcase Bork. It was fun.
I think
classic goatee, 3 out of 5.
I actually was ready to give this event a full beard. Because the one thing that the men's Money in the Bank, I was really looking forward to, was the fact that the big rumor was going around that this Money in the Bank winner was going to be basically made as a star. And it's just oh, wait, we're giving it to Bork Laser, who, in Vince McMahon's eyes, and really in the mainstream media's eyes, is already a star. So, again, at the cost of building new stars, you have to just go back to a person that really put us in the position we're in now, at least in I'm looking at this at WWE's eyes. And with that, we also got the special announcement of the new 24/7 championship.
I am not going to be able to take anyone seriously that wins this title at all. Basically because of the way that the first person who had it won it. Here's how you win this title.
You pick it up.
Everyone who wants it, run down to the ring. The first person who can pick it up with both hands will be the first holder. Good Lord.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, this is going to be good.
I like the hardcore title. Mick Foley, my favorite wrestler of all time, was the first ever hardcore champion. During those times, you just had people thinking outside the box. You had people who were coming up with really inventive, crazy ways to do matches. Anything goes. It was his own separate thing. It was tremendous. And then the 24/7 rule was enacted. And the title defenses and all those things meant absolutely nothing. Sure, you got a couple good moments of Crash Holly
Bull pit
all over the place in weird scenarios. But that was
that a McDonald's play place?
No, it was like a Discovery Zone or something.
Yeah. Oh, I miss a Discovery Zone.
Yes. But that was the minority. That was the exception to the general rule that was the 24/7 rule made everything a lot worse. And it cheapened every single one of everybody's title reigns because they were getting like a dozen different title reigns or 37 title reigns or something dumb and worthless like that. This, you know me, I normally like to be the optimistic one here, but right now the 24/7 title just seems to be the absolute worst version of a beloved title. And I don't like it.
I did enjoy one thing out of that whole little section of the show. I enjoyed R-Truth being R-Truth. And I enjoyed him herding Bobby Roode into the trunk, making him stay in the trunk, telling everyone else to go away, getting him out of the trunk. I'll get you out of here, man. I'll get you out of here. Opens the door. Ref sticks his head out. I was like, that was fun.
You know what I want to see happen?
That was fun
for me. Here's what I want to see happen. I want to see of course, it's funny that this idea is USA, like the USA Network actually made this idea. And Vince was like, okay. Like they were pitching ideas to help build ratings, and this was the one that Vince liked the most.
I want R-Truth.
Here's what I see. Here's what I want to see happen. R-Truth is going to continue.
I want R-Truth to be the Crash Holly of this division.
Oh, he's going to. He's going to continue being the Crash Holly to a point where when he's finally running, he runs into Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman wins the 24/7 title, and the whole storyline is who can take the 24/7 title off of Braun Strowman.
That I can see working. I'm not 100% convinced that they're actually going to go there, though.
Oh, like I actually had a conversation with this with like a Twitter back and forth with Wrestle Talks Luke Owen about this. He says, "You think it's going to be Braun Strowman? He thinks it's going to be Lars Sullivan."
I think both of them could do the similar job.
The only difference I pointed out is that they want to pitch this idea of the 24/7 title in a more comedic fashion. So I see Braun being the one that actually continues the comedic aspects. The way I looked at it is like a situation similar to when, I don't know who it was, but when someone put the quote, put a hit on D-Generation X. And you had DX talking having a backstage interview, and then Sean Stasiak, you see him trying to jump him, and he just goes, ah! I see some more comedy stuff like that. You just see everyone trying to get their best of Braun Strowman, and he's just outsmarting everyone. And when they do try and get their hands on him, he's just like, I'm going to destroy you now because I can.
Strowman.
And if anything, if they're going to have like one legit title feud, Lars Sullivan versus Braun Strowman versus for the 24/7 title.
Okay.
But yeah, I just like the idea. It's like, okay, instead of just having everyone run around and having Drake Maverick be the slow, out of shape rhino at the end in Jumanji, but they're all running and you just see Drake Maverick
holding his back.
Oh boy.
and we have Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins going for that title. So wait, aren't they Raw champions? Well, the 24/7 title is the one to go for.
Extra gold. Why not?
Lame. But I do like the idea just on the comedic standpoint. But to take it seriously, yeah, I feel like the first thing they had to do, give Braun Strowman his first singles titles, which is the 24/7 title. His first major title on WWE main roster. Oh no. Oh, Braun.
Look how far you've fallen.
You became a tag team champion with a 10-year-old, and now your first singles title win may be the 24/7 title, the title that means absolutely nothing in the end.
I don't think I can take more of this, which is why I'm going to turn it over to you.
It's doing its job for me too.
The Scholars of Wrestling audience.
I'm amused.
I am not. But then again, you know what's going on with us. You've heard what we think. Now we're turning it over to you, our listening audience. Contact us all over the internet. What do you think of Money in the Bank? Where do you think the 24/7 title is going to go next? When is the beef case going to be cashed in?
When is Bray Wyatt going to debut with this new gimmick?
Yowie wowie.
Yowie wowie.
We want to hear from you, so whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or just following us on our Twitter accounts, we want to hear from you. Speaking of Twitter, you can follow us at ScholarsOW, our main page, for all the latest episode uploads. And you can also join the conversation with us on a personal level on our personal Twitter accounts. Where can they reach you?
You can reach me at the Avataric.
Brian.
You can reach me at Atomic Beanpole.
And you can catch me at I'm Robbie Rage with all my no belts.
But with your title shot.
But with my title shot in hand. And you all know that I am going to get it back. It makes me feel great.
Good.
Because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling. And you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you all next time.